Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new year, almost. Depending on when you're watching this, this is the feng shui for the Capricorn new moon, first new moon of the year. This year, we have 13 new moons. It's really dark here. It's raining. If you hear the rain, I'm sorry. I don't love putting a ring light over me because it kind of makes everything look like bizarre. So hopefully it'll be light enough for me to do this. This message, this feng shui is very exciting because while the whole of 2022 feng shui is coming soon for you guys, sit tight. It's coming this weekend. This new moon starts everything off with a foundation of self-affirmation, freedom, expansion. It's really awesome. And this whole year, just to lean into the new of the new year, this whole year, 13 new moons to start the year. We've got so much energy that's new to start the year that hasn't been around for years or hundreds of years. I mean, it's like so much new, so many things that have been thought, so many things that are thought to expand life in terms of astrology and even numerology and all these other different vantage points have been in a strange place in the last 2 years, in a strained place, maybe not like the most auspicious place to feel total freedom. And they're all there now. And, you know, I don't necessarily believe in, I don't believe at all in what is lucky or not lucky. But when all themes from all different modalities collide and let you know that change is on the way, I'll take it, especially right now. Change is on the way. Really dynamic, positive change. It was so many themes of freedom, so many themes of liberation, so many themes of abundance and creativity that all start, well, with the new year, but with this new moon on the second day of the year. So the second Sunday, let's all lean in to making this the absolute best new year ever. And so new moons to start, just before we go further, are recharges. The new moon is literally recharging itself so that it can go through a cycle. I feel like right now I'm in a period of recharging myself, and you might feel that way too. It's the holidays. Many of you are on break, getting ready, recharging yourself so that you can go through a new cycle, start something fresh. This year, the idea of this recharge, again, 13 times over. And it's not just a time of recharging, but being able to tap in more to what you really want, being able to tap in more to your focus, to your priorities, to the things that move you. This is really powerful stuff. So we've got 13 new moons starting with Sunday, and the overarching idea here is recharging. And we'll look at doing that in your home, in your life. We'll look at doing that on every level. And we're going to keep doing that as the year unfolds, because this is like a big prevalent theme. We've been through a lot collectively. We're still going through a lot collectively. And it's so important. It's, even though you hear it all the time, how many of you deeply feel, do you deeply feel like you have all of your energy charged up? Or do you feel like you're running on empty? Or do you feel like you're not quite as sparkly as you usually are or were for a while? This is something to really ask yourself and go, you know what? I'm going to invest myself in all different types of self-care that maybe I've never done before, or maybe more self-care than I've ever done before in my life. So we're going to get into all of this, but just really think for yourself, like, do I feel as magnetic as I usually do? Do I feel as sparkly as I usually do? Am I sleeping enough? Do I feel loved from within, not just people loving me? Do I feel loved from within? These are all the types of questions that are going to help us to set up a foundation for the year ahead. January is a foundational month, but more than January being a foundational month, this is like, woof, expansive year. And if we want to bring more in, build more things, be more creative, we really need our energy. And we really need to believe deeply in ourselves. Some of the greatest challenges can be trusting yourself, not just trusting what someone says, I say, blah, 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 people say, astrologers say, psychics say, like trusting yourself is the big work. And the only way I know to come to trust my own self is to keep leaning in to the instincts, keep leaning in to all of those hits of intuition, keep leaning in. Someone said they used to be magnetic, but don't know what happened. We're going to talk about that today. And I'm actually going to do a video on that as well, because I feel you. It's like a lot of this, again, collectively, even if you have been doing well during these last year and a half, 2 years, overall doing very well, there's a collective sense of a lot happening, just a lot and a lot of change. And so it's like gathering up your greatness, leaning into your intuition. And one of the first ways you can become more magnetic, and one of the first ways you can expand your energy is, and I know I've been saying this like a broken record, but I just can't emphasize it enough because I still have a lot more of it to do, and I do it all the time, is deeply clearing clutter and reorganizing your life. Deeply clearing clutter. I believe the free feng shui clutter clearing video series is still below. The Catalyst Camp is open. We start on Monday, and it's literally like the recharge. It's the deep home and life decluttering using all of this feng shui and energy shifts. And the free video series is like a free class in itself that can help you to dive in and really start getting the effects. I want everyone to know that the work works for them. It's really important to me. And so deep dive into clearing and organizing. Capricorn loves structure. Structure, discipline, commitment. Now, this is a time of infinite possibility, and you might think of infinite possibility as structure-free, no discipline, no responsibilities. And I get that. But when you want to really accomplish something and build something big, a structure isn't a limitation. A structure is a blueprint. A structure or a habit or a pattern isn't to keep you stuck. It's to keep you tapped in. A structure can be the thing that allows you to build a house. A structure, you need a blueprint, right? Or something. You don't want to just freestyle it all and hope it all fits together and doesn't fall apart. You really want to have that structure. I would highly recommend, for the person who's ready to be more magnetic, anyone ready to be more magnetic, do those videos. Even just the energy piece of it, the ones that are below in the description box. Even just the piece of it of energy clearing can just be like, boom, lights on, moving things forward. It's also really helpful to remind yourself that energy does not just sort of go away. No one can take your magic away from you. And certainly, like, it doesn't just go away forever. It's not like, oh, someone took my energy and I can never get it back. You can bring back and you can revitalize and you can call in all the energy you need at any time. And it's really helpful when you make that clean sweep, because sometimes when we're not feeling as great, when we're not feeling as dynamic or motivated or excited or in momentum, things pile up. You don't feel like doing the dishes. You don't feel like filing things. You don't feel like doing whatever habits you do in the morning. You just don't feel like doing anything. And it just piles up and piles up and piles up. And then you're like, oh, wait, what happened? And so clearing, that fresh start, clearing makes all the difference. I don't just repeat myself for the sake of repeating myself. I'm always reminding myself, and also hopefully reminding everyone this is fundamental. It might be simple, but it really does work. Now, when we talk about flow and structure and starting the year with a Capricorn new moon, Capricorn recharge, Capricorn fresh start. That's how we start every year. The first part of the year, we set intentions, we make lists, we have all these gym memberships, and we have all these things, right? You start the year with all this stuff. You got all this stuff going on. For the new year, it's Capricorn structure. I'm committing to, everyone's like the resolution, the new thing, like everyone's all fired up for a few weeks, and then it can dwindle. Now, the idea is to take this Capricorn cycle, and instead of giving yourself 600 new things to do, or maybe 10 new habits to do, or 5 new habits to do, using this time to clear, organize, and hone in on the very biggest things you want for yourself. Right now, Venus is in retrograde, which is a reminder for all of us to go deep into our priorities and our sense of self-value. So it's like, what's most important to you? Truly the most important thing to you. Oftentimes I ask people what's most important and who's most important to them, and they have no problem telling me exactly what it is. And I say, great, do you spend a lot of time doing these things and seeing these people? And they're like, well, you know, whenever I can make it happen. A lot of our priorities, a lot of our core biggest things are for later. And that's not a judgment for anyone. I could say that for myself as well. I had to reprioritize my life this year to make what was most important, most important. Even when you think about your day, you might have big dreams, big things you're working on, right? We're going to talk about this when we make a wish list at the end. Big things that you're working on. Then you have all this busy work that you can also do. Now, it's tempting when you're busy and you're tired and you're running through the day to do all the busy work so that you can be productive, right? You want to be productive. So you do all the busy work, but then that big stuff, that genius stuff, the stuff that's going to change your life, stuff that you know is the most important, just moves on. Do it next week, next month, next year. Moves on. Don't have time for it. Things can just drag on because we're so overloaded with too many things to focus on. So if you want to master the energy of Capricorn and this season and this month and this new moon, get clear on what is absolutely most important to you. Most important, the most important people, the most important topics, the most important things, and all the rest, you'll still do it. You're going to show up for work. If it's not the most important thing for you, you're still going to do it. But your energy and your focus is going to be on what matters most. And that what matters most is going to enable you to invest time into developing these things, clear your life so you can focus more on those things, organize so you can make those things a reality more and more. And as we move into the year, it's going to be building and building and building. And you want to build the things that matter the most, not get lost in all the things that keep us so busy. There are better ways to do things, and you will discover them as you set and commit that Capricorn commitment just to those big priorities, not necessarily to 10,000 goals. You can have a wish list of all the things you want for the year, and it will come. It will. But you don't have to focus on all the things. Focus on what matters most, and the universe will reorganize itself in your favor. So we talked about decluttering a little bit. Those videos, I believe the videos are below. If they're not, please let me know. Declutter, join the Catalyst Camp if you want to really dive in deep. It is a magnificent, magical experience. The 8th year, we're starting the year with the Catalyst Camp. It's been a real catalyst for a lot of people. This year, it's real deep in this prioritization of life, like really investing in what matters most, clearing clutter, not just for the sake of it, but for the ability to be able to flourish and prosper and focus more and be expansive. This is what is most exciting. So now, this is a time of big action, but before the big action comes the recharge. So recharge your home a little bit. It might be that you sweep or you dust or you mop. Do a little bit of cleaning. You don't have to do a massive amount of cleaning right now. You don't have to do a massive amount of decluttering right now. Do things that are refreshing. I want to refresh my mirrors. I want to refresh my desktop. I want to refresh and dust. I want to refresh the kitchen. I want to mop and make the floors sparkle. Do things from a place of wanting to bring life to them. Think of yourself like a magic wand and you're moving around and refreshing and refreshing and refreshing everything. That makes a big difference. And this is going to help you to recharge yourself as well. I say this in the School of Intention, the professional training school, every year. Self-care and home care are one and the same. When you're caring for your home, you're also caring for yourself. Your home is your sanctuary. Your home is influencing you all day long. So as you clear away that stagnation and stuckness of clutter and recharge yourself, you're going to feel better and better. And also recharge yourself with more self-care. And it might be a really good time to even stock up on the basics of self-care for yourself. So I did a big trip. I'm about to do more TikToks about it. I did a big trip and I'll do some YouTube shorts. If you haven't noticed, I made like 2 YouTube shorts so far, but I'm going to start making more of them and rolling them into all of this content because I make short form video all over the place. And did a big trip to the 99-cent store in Los Angeles recently and stocked up on all the things that are vital for my own self-care, meaning salt for salt baths, Epsom salt. I got lots of art supplies, markers, big poster boards to make vision boards. I got lots of things that really support me. I also ordered I have deep conditioner coming for my hair that needs to be deep conditioned every week and hasn't been for like 2 months. And you could start to see it. Stock up on those basics for yourself. Those things that you reach for that you might not have, you might be running out of. It feels really good to know that you have set yourself up for self-care, and it doesn't have to be expensive. I've spent very little money, probably like $25, $30 to have like lots of salt and lots of baking soda and lots of like months worth, probably many, many months worth to kick off the year. So it doesn't have to be a massive investment. It can just be the stuff, maybe candles that you love that are not very expensive or something else that's going to just really bring things to the next level for you. So stock up on self-care, but most importantly, make the time for self-care because it will pay you back with so much more time. Doing things and when you don't feel that magnetic, and this is something some of you will relate to, it can feel like, what's the point? I don't feel like I have my magic here. What's the point? And when you allow yourself to fully recharge, and then you start doing things, that action is going to have a whole different vibe to it. You will feel your magnetism grow. You will feel yourself grow. Your magnetism is a function of your energy being turned on, and you have to have that energy. You can't sort of borrow it with coffee. I'm drinking herbal tea, not coffee, just to clarify. I had to stop drinking caffeine because I was borrowing energy in order to live. How many of you feel like you've been borrowing energy? Borrowing energy from coffee, borrowing energy from psyching yourself up, borrowing energy from not sleeping enough. You're borrowing energy to kind of get by. And after a while, it's like you're in debt of energy. You got to pay it all back. And so you got to sleep, you've got to rest, you've got to recharge and find those habits for yourself that keep you in more of a flow. And it's going to make all the difference in the world. Now, Capricorn, structure, reorganization, this idea of organizing your life so that your priorities are top, we talked about. Your top priorities are top. Your top priorities come first. The most important things for you, the most important people, that is a turning point upon which you organize your whole life. There's one producer in Hollywood, and I used to I didn't work at a big agency, but I was in the building. I had an office there working for someone and a big talent agency in Los Angeles. And there was one producer who is extremely prolific. And when I heard this, I was so stunned that I got a sense of this is what success is like. It was the first person I'd ever heard of in Hollywood who organized his schedule, his meetings, his schedule, his plans, his life, so that he was home at a certain time every single day for his family. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No exceptions that became the norm. And is one of the most successful people, still is one of the most successful people in Hollywood. And that was something that stayed with me. And I was like, how could I do that? How can I organize my life so that at this hour, everything stops and it's all about the people I love. At this hour, everything stops and it's all about my priorities. Or at this time in the morning until this time, that's it. And when you can be that ruthless with your time, that clear, that crisp, that definitive, you become part of the driver's seat, which is the big message of this moon. Sitting in the driver's seat of your life. It's why we do this feng shui. It's why I'm here today. I believe you're the creator of your life, and you can be the creator of your life more and more when you sit in the driver's seat. And when you see the 2022 feng shui and how every theme is literally every single theme of 2022, every single theme is about creativity. You need so much to just sit in the driver's seat and learn to trust yourself more. And man, I work on it too. But I will tell you this, the more you clear clutter, the more you clear that stuff in the way, the more you will sit in the driver's seat of your life and trust in the universe. You will trust in your intuition. You'll trust in your inner guidance. You will trust so much more when you let go of all that extra stuff that tries to pull you off your path. You will trust more. You will lean in more. You will feel so much more unlimited. And so reorganize things that are going to help you. You want more time. You want more energy. Look at your calendar, reorganize it. Look at your structure of what you're doing in the day. How are you running your day? Or do you spend your time on social media when you should be focused? Or do you get distracted with text messages? Do you need to shut that off? Where's your energy going? That is a big deal. Where's your energy going? Do you allow yourself? I have a video on the channel about flow state. Do you allow yourself flow state? Do you allow yourself to focus without distractions for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a day where you have no distractions at all? When I do that, I'm unstoppable and I have so much more time. When I don't do that, I'm just busy and I don't know where my time goes. Get more flow for yourself. Really, when you think about reorganizing, don't think about forcing yourself to do things that feel abnormal or unnatural, like pushing yourself to be a person who you aren't. I spent years trying to push myself to be a person who woke up at like 5 a.m. I'm not a person that wakes up at 5 a.m. I'm just not that person. I can wake up at 6 a.m. and feel fantastic. And when I do that and organize my life in that way, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I know that about myself, but I used to push myself to be what I wasn't. And if you feel like you've been doing that, it's the new year, it's time to push myself to go to the gym 6 days a week when you don't like the gym. Or it's time to push myself to follow this regime or this plan or this thing when it's just not you. You never need to push yourself to do the things that are going to rocket you into another dimension. You might need to discipline yourself. You might need to show up and be consistent and overcome maybe a little fear or anything else that's in the way and just lean in and just enjoy the ride. But you never have to make yourself become someone who you aren't. This whole time, there's so much about this new year that is self-affirming. It's only about being who you are, not about becoming like someone else. I know you might have a friend who loves the gym. You might have a friend who's like a triathlete. You might have another friend that, can wake up and at 5 a.m. and have everything done by 8 a.m. and you're in awe of this person. But it might not be your thing. Your thing might be something else. That's just your genius. So lean into what feels best to you and organize stuff, physical stuff. Organize your desk, organize your computer, organize your pantry, organize your closet. Not in a way that's going to be putting things in little boxes just because it looks good and you could take a picture of it. I want you to organize things so you can grab them, so you can touch them, so you can see them. I used to try to organize things by getting little boxes and putting things in little boxes. And I was like, I don't like all these boxes. Some people love boxes. I don't. What works for you? This is going to be major. It's going to be life-changing, major, expansive, excellent stuff. Organizing reorganizes the universe in your favor. Allow that to happen. And finally, in terms of your structures and optimizing your life, when you think about all that self-care, the things that bring you energy, make that a focal point. Make that the center of your life. The center of my life is that I take great care of myself. The center of my life is that I make sure that my energy is strong and I feel great. The center of my life, most importantly, is that I feel joy and I'm happy. And all the rest of the stuff is going to be fine. Because if you're in that place, then your energy's on. Like if you're in that place and you allow yourself more of that happiness, allow yourself more of that joy coming in. And I know sometimes things are difficult and challenging, but even moments of joy in really challenging times and more self-care in more challenging times, all of that is going to help you to always stay in the flow. And you're just going to keep growing and building. And this foundation is going to be unshakable. And so your wish list, your goal list, whatever you want to call it, I like to think of it as an intention list for the new moon. Let it be the things that matter the most to you. Let it be the stuff that lights you up, and all the rest of it, write it all out, but just pluck out those few important things, that are so, how can I say it? Like the things that if I do this month is going to be epic. If I get this project done, if I finish this thing for myself, if I do this at work, if I, sell this many things, whatever it is, if I do this is going to be epic. This is my North Star. Those 1 or 2 or 3 focal points, pull them out, put them somewhere where you see them, give them energy by looking at them, feel them, allow them, get comfortable with them, and live that more and more. And as we go through the year, we'll go through more and more of these. I hope you like these, guys. Let me know, because I'll continue to do them throughout. This was an experiment for 2021, and I will continue to do them throughout 2022 if it's something that you enjoy, because we can keep going and referencing back to old moons and really building throughout the year in terms of helping and supporting you guys to get to where you want to go. That's the whole reason why I love doing this on every level. So write out what you love, write out what means the most, and get ready, because this year is, like I said, so very new. And I hope it is everything incredible for you, everything amazing for you, everything of growth, everything of largesse, everything awesome that you could ever dream of. And I hope that it is full of love. So on that note, if you have questions, comments, please leave them below. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like. And if you're new here, subscribe. If you dig this, there's so much more to come. And share with your friends, share with people. It helps the metrics, helps people find out about all of this work. This feng shui is super unique. I teach it every year in the School of Intention, which is open for registration for the next season now. And below you'll find a link if you want to become a feng shui professional trained in the most unique method that is super magnetic and super empowering and nothing but positive. And so that's below. And also the Catalyst Camp's below if you want to join us for some major new year, new clutter, new decluttering, new you, but decluttered you, just more you. I don't like to say necessarily new you, because I don't want anyone to become a new person. I want you to become you in the most radiant ways. And this is a big celebration of all of that. Oh, I'm so glad. Yay. I will absolutely be here checking to see if you have questions. I'm glad I was able to address that a little bit. Hopefully you have things that can help you to feel more magnetic, and just let it unfold. You can't kind of force it. Lean in. The better you feel, the easier things come. And oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yay. Happy New Year, everyone. And I love you so much. And I will see you very soon. And 2022 Feng Shui is coming to you very shortly. So get ready. Mwah. Bye, everyone.